A U.S. Navy aircraft carrier. No, that's not it. Oh, captain. He's a captain. I was like, he's a U.S. Navy aircraft.
Oh, nice.
So
it's a Disney movie.
Yes.
Where the vehicles can talk.
Yeah, and they sing. Like, beautiful song. Yeah, so a captain on a U.S. Navy aircraft carrier is being fired for creating too much panic on his ship because of the virus.
What? Is this the one where they want to dock somewhere else or what?
I don't know, I didn't read that.
Scream on the intercom or some shit like, holy shit! This fucking corona, we're fucked, guys!
So he's getting intel that there is an outbreak on his ship, right? Okay. And there's about 4,000 people on the ship.
Fuck!
Now
those things are like, just to put it in perspective, a lot of them are like a mile or two long.
A mile long?
They're deep. They're straight up fucking city.
Mile?
Yes, like a mile or two long.
You're gonna be able to fucking race on that thing.
Those things are straight up. Yeah, those things are like, could be a mile or 2 miles long.
All the people are like cheering, like basically saluting him for leaving, for doing the right. Yeah, for doing the right thing though.
Yeah, he's a cool dude, but he's being fired by his commanders.
Cause he's trying to do the right thing for his people.
Yeah, he was worried about his seamen, sailors. Yeah, and he was just trying to do what he thought was right, and he broke. He's the captain, yeah, and he, I guess, broke protocol.
So he's in charge of the entire vehicles, pretty much.
He broke protocol based on what his commanders deemed was a better, what is a better thing was to not do what he did. And what he did was send out a memo, I guess via email, and he copied too many people in the memo. So it's just, the news went out to too many different people and eventually got to news outlets.
Because they forwarded it?
Yeah, they forwarded it.
Like, so he CC'd too many people?
Yes.
So that was the only problem with the message itself?
He wanted to tell a lot of people?
I think he was just trying to tell the people he cared about, or like what he thought was a reasonable amount, I guess.
And then they started forwarding it, but it was like tip-top secret shit?
Yes, yeah, and so the official thing was...
he's a tattletale.
Was what it does, it undermines the efforts in the chain of commands, and the efforts to address this problem creates a panic. And the idea of not creating panic was kind of like what the whole government's trying to do.
What I heard was, because he sounded the alarm or whatever, he basically put it out for the ship, basically because there was an outbreak and they didn't want to say anything, and they're just gonna let people basically continue working on the ship like normally. Mm-hmm. But he was afraid of everyone catching it, so he broke protocol and announced it to everyone so they can either find safety or have to go through safety.
Right. And then did they quarantine the guys that were?
Yeah, so about 3,000 people are gonna be taken off the ship to be quarantined.
Yeah, but I guess they didn't want.
Aircraft is gonna be inactive. The aircraft carrier is gonna be inactive, pretty much.
Damn.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, they're docked in Guam right now. Yeah. Oh, it's about 5,000 people. 3,000 of them are gonna be taken off the ship.
But I guess the higher ups didn't want that. They wanted them to continue to keep going, and then they would have all got like the virus or something.
Yeah, yeah.
I guess he was worried, and he was worried about his crew and everyone aboard for their safety. So that's why he.
Yeah, he's just being a good dad.
Yeah.
You know, he's just trying to be a good, father figure to everyone and it's under his command. So I think he was just doing what he thought was right.
Sounds like the plot to every movie that has war in it,
Yeah.
Where it's like, you gotta follow the chain of command. It's like, no, I gotta look out for my people.
And then the one spy goes rogue and they're like, well, you're kicked off team, buddy.
They're gonna make a movie about this guy.
Yeah.
You know how many lives he saved? Dude, there's gonna be a Saving Captain Ryan movie.
Yes.
What's his name?
Captain, I don't know. Navy Secretary
Brett?
Thomas Moldley.
Saving Captain Moldley.
No. Captain Brett Crozier.
Ooh, that's better.
Saving Captain Crozier.
Captain Crozier.
What's the public's consensus on it? Do they agree with him, or the rest of the world? Do they agree with him, or they think that's fucked up for breaking chain of command?
I don't know. What do you guys think?
I don't think the public ever cares about chain of command.
If I was on the boat, I would want my captain to CC me and say, guess what? There's a sick motherfucker in here.
Yeah.
Watch out for fucking Private James.
Just one guy. Guys, picture Private James walking down the hall. I got AIDS.
Yeah, I think so. On Twitter, everyone was like, "This is dope!" Like, congratulating him. And then also there was one guy in Trump's command that I forgot what he did. He like killed hella people, or like not like intentionally, but like in war in a bad way, or he was like accused of rape and like all these things, or he did something really bad and he got pardoned. I remember he committed a crime and got pardoned, and then it was like a really bad part that you shouldn't get pardoned for.
Was Trump like, is that all you did? That's it?
Yeah.
Pardon.
And then so he got pardoned.
Oh, the military guy?
So another military guy got pardoned from his criminal activity, and then this guy got fired. So
This guy got fired?
This guy got fired.
But it's not the same. Is it the same people that made? Yeah. Or is it just like this is how weird the military and the law
It might
is?
be the same person that's hiring and firing or whatever.
I'm not too sure.
Or pardoning and
I think what
firing.
you mean in terms of that reference, that both of them were getting fired and both of them were getting reprimanded, but Trump intervened with one of them, right? To pardon.
This is just on Twitter.
Yeah.
So you don't know. They just tell you the headline and that's it.
Damn.
But all I'm working with is the video, and it seems like his seamen
They're happy.
love him.
really like that.
Yes.
Yeah, they seem like
Every time you say it, I feel that pause right before you say it. You're like that semen.
Yeah, you
I have
get
to
so
pause.
giddy.
I
You
have to
get
say-
so giddy about it.
I mean, when you say come, it's not semen. No one says semen, you know. But in this case, I want to say semen. Oh, sellers, right? Yeah.
So a captain in the Navy is actually really high. Captain in the Navy is like a colonel, I guess, like on the land branch. So they're right below admiral. So it's like a really high rank. So I don't know if he's like
So how up that chain of command do they start teaching you how to make like fried chicken?
for colonel. You start learning at the bottom, but you don't perfect it until yeah.
It's like sushi rice.
You learn one spice every rank. That's why it's like that's why there's 13 spices.
I don't know anything about the ranking.
Yeah,
Well, you're not supposed to.
What does it start with?
So if you're an officer, if you're on the so there's a
No, like the basic, like boot camp boy.
then you're a recruit. You're not even a recruit's not even anything.
So after you finish boot camp,
Then you become a private.
private first.
And it goes private first class. This is the Marine Corps because in the Army it's slightly different. And then from private first class you go to Lance Corporal, you go to Corporal, then you go to Sergeant, then you go to Staff Sergeant, then you go to Gunnery Sergeant, or in the Army it's Sergeant First Class, and then you go to like Master Sergeant, and you go to like a Sergeant.
That's a lot of.
Yeah. Did you write that down?
And then what's after sergeant major? Then you're an officer, or
That's it. You're at the top of the enlisted branch. So it's
what's
almost like
after that?
like blue collar worker and then like white collar worker.
so then after that, then it's officer levels. Like what's after that? Like captain or whatever.
Then this goes second lieutenant, first lieutenant, captain, major, lieutenant colonel, colonel, and then general, and then every single star of the general.
Man. There's so many levels, and does like each level have their own squad, like their own crew, like one squad? I'm thinking of just ancient military, right? Because like the Mongols, what they did is like they had a team of 10,
Yeah.
and within that team of 10, there'll be like one captain of that 10, but then 10 10s make a team of like 100.
That's exactly how it's organized. So
And
like,
then-
let's
yeah.
say you have a, like let's say depending on like if what branch and like what they do, but like let's say if you have a fire team of like 3 or 4 people, there's probably going to be a bunch of privates or whatever, and you have a lance corporal in charge of that. Then you have 3 lance corporals, and then you might have like a squad leader that might be a corporal, and so that might be like 11 or 12 people. That's considered a squad. Then 3 or 4 of those guys create a platoon. And then so usually you have a platoon sergeant, so they have a
That's
sergeant.
like 24,
Yeah, so you have a
30. Yeah.
sergeant that's in charge of like 3 or 4 corporals who's in charge of that. So then platoons make up like a battalion make up a division. So it's very highly organized.
Yeah.
So if things need to get passed quickly, like news will travel fast, orders travels extremely fast, it's extremely organized. It's just like that.
Damn.
That's why the chain of command is so important, right? Because once you break anywhere in that like chain,
It fucks the
it doesn't
order.
work as well, right?
Yeah, and that's why they have like top secret confidential stuff, like need to know basis, because like if communication reaches people before it's packaged in the right way, it might create havoc. That's because ultimately the most important goal is mission accomplishment. So I don't know, but there's also, but then the second priority is also troop welfare.
Yeah.
So if the priorities are kind of conflicting, it's like I can see why there's like both sides on this.
So you being in the military or coming from the military, what do you think of this?
Well, I don't know the details. That's
Yeah.
the thing. Like I don't know what the details are, and then I know this captain's in charge of a lot of people, like 4,000 or 5,000 people. That's crazy. It's like in charge of an entire city.
Just from this story though, it sounds like it was an accident, right? It wasn't even like
I know.
You were like,
You didn't know how to use the
he put
email?
Too many CCs.
But you also can't be making accidents at that level, you know?
Because everyone's cheering him on, like, yeah, he did the right thing. But just the way that you were saying it, it sounds like,
Maybe-
oh,
yeah,
whoops,
maybe
I had
it's
too many
what I
people in
said,
the
yeah,
email.
Okay, I'll read it verbatim.
Also assuming that he sent it off to family members too.
Maybe.
Maybe this was everyone's cousin that got hit up before.
Verbatim. He said the captain copied too many people on the memo, which was leaked to a California newspaper and quickly spread to many news outlets. Verbatim. So I don't know.
It is dangerous
Sent it out.
though. I could see it in the military sense because when the media gets it, then if we are at war or whatever, or they're doing a mission and they're not supposed to be in a certain place, then other governments are gonna know about it. So because that's why the Spanish flu is called the Spanish flu, is because that shit was erupting in the U.S. and I think in Austria, Germany, or wherever the war was happening. But Spain wasn't really a part of the World War at the time. So when they started getting the flu, their media wasn't censoring it. So back then, all the powers that were fighting each other, they were losing soldiers out in the battlefield more from the flu than from bullets.
Oh, fuck.
So they were afraid that if they seem weak, like they didn't want to show that their soldiers were sick or weak or anything. So they didn't let their media like report anything.
Damn.
Yeah. So the American media and the German media out there, they didn't say shit, and that's why the Spanish, they said it. So everyone thought that it came from Spain.
Damn.
That's the biggest argument everyone's having right now. They're like, yeah, blah, blah, blah about the Spanish flu. Because people are like, about the
China
the
virus?
Chinese virus, right? And then they're like, oh, that's where it came from. And people are like, just like the Spanish flu. And then the other side's like, the
didn't
Spanish
come
flu
from
didn't even
Spanish.
come from Spain. It came
Yeah.
from America first. Why don't we call it the American flu?
So this incident, brought up another idea or another criticism of how if this incident happened, then does that affect other captains from wanting to do the right thing if an outbreak happens on their ship?
Or maybe just the right thing is don't miscopy people.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe it's as
don't
simple as
CC
that.
too
Maybe
many.
that's why I don't know what the actual context
he could've
is.
sent it to his grandma, and then the grandma fucking sent
what
it
is
to
this?
Yeah, because maybe his email was perfectly fine. It's just the people he copied on it, So I don't even know. I don't even know.
But also, I think there should be more digging because from everything because I went kind of deep into that thread. Nothing was talking about emails. It was more talking about him alarming the people on the ship.
Was it an actual alarm?
I'm not too sure.
That was a result, maybe?
But basically, the higher ups were like, don't tell the people on the ship because they're trying to do whatever they wanted. But he was like, they're going to get sick and it's going to spread wild if I don't say anything. And
They
then
purposely sent that email to everybody.
that's what I'm guessing. If it was an email, yeah.
It was 100% confirmed that there was somebody on the ship that had coronavirus.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. More than 100 sailors on the ship have tested positive for the virus, but none is hospitalized.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
But they didn't want to
God.
they didn't want to say anything. He was like, I want to protect my people, and he was, I'm gonna do the right thing and save them.
Yeah. What do you guys think? Right thing or he did?
I think he did the right thing.
I think he did the right thing.
Know enough, man. I really don't know
What the
enough.
goal was, right? If maybe the military higher ups were like, well, there's a safer way to do this, and if we don't tell them now, we can do it in a way that people don't panic, and then maybe it won't spread as much. I don't know what the big plan was to say that it was a bad idea.
Where it's like the higher up you go, the bigger the plan.
There's so many secrets up there,
Yeah,
right?
and the more they need to orchestrate things, right? So for let's say whoever his boss is probably like an admiral of some sort. If he's like, okay, cool, I know we have 12 aircraft carriers, and I'm creating a solution for 12 of them, right? And then you have one aircraft carrier just going rogue and figuring out whatever the hell they do. That can destroy the plan for all 12 when there are people working on solutions for all of them. So I get from one person's point of view, go, these are my people. But then your boss is like, I know, but all of you guys are my people. So it's just hard to know with not enough information, what's going on.